Hey everybody, Aaron here. Welcome back to another anime review. Today we look at the anime series known as Himouto Umaru-chan. Now, this came out in 2015 and I remember wanting to review it episode by episode, so weekly by weekly reviews, but at the time I wasn't really hell bent on doing stuff like that, so I really kind of pushed it to the side and went, you know what, I'll watch some other stuff and figure out what I want to review from there. And I heard a lot of good things about this. Like people told me it was very good, it was very enjoyable, and I was like, yeah, I'll watch it on my own time. I'll get around to it. You know, to kind of push these things to the side because you're really not focused on it or worried about it at the moment. I kind of forgot about it completely up until recently, where someone I know told me, "Hey, you know, I'm checking this out. It's really funny. It's got a lot of humor and all this other stuff." And I'm like, "Okay, let me check this out." And I'll tell you right now, this is actually a really good show. Is it the best show out there? No. You know, there's better comedy on the anime out there, but I'll definitely tell you this was actually a lot of fun to watch. And one thing I really enjoyed about it is it's chock full of anime slash video game references left and right. I mean, they have references to Monster Hunter, they have references to Hatsune Miku, they have references to anything you could think of for the most part. This show throws a million and one references, even like brand names like Pringles and etc., like stuff like that. I mean, it really does that. Now, the whole kind of main plot of this is, I want to say, very small. This is not a plot heavy show. This is more so like an episode by episode type show. So if you don't like that style, I'll be honest with you, might have issues with this, but this is not really meant to have like an over long and huge plot. Now we have Umaru over here, who on the left is this girl who's really loved by everyone. Like they see her walking down the street, she sparkles and shines. People think she's so cute and adorable. They think she's like prim and proper. She's very well educated. She does very well in school. She's almost like always top in her class. She's very good at sports, and it just seems like she's your normal girl in terms of what she likes and what she dislikes. But when she gets home, she changes completely. Welcome to the little right picture, which I'll show another bigger picture for because that's what I want to focus on, is the smaller version of Umaru, the Himouto version. And I'll be honest with you, I don't know what Himouto actually means. I have no idea. I should have looked it up probably prior to this, but I didn't do that. Goes to show you how great of a reviewer I am sometimes. But one thing I find funny is that here she is laying down, playing PSP, eating chips, and reading manga. Like she is a huge gameaholic slash animeaholic. Like she loves it. She's super otaku. Like this girl is super otaku essentially, and that causes her brother a lot of pain. The brother's name is Taihei, and Taihei, unlike a typical show, is not actually a high school student. He's actually out of college. He's actually been working at a corporation as I want to say businessman of sorts. And he works pretty hard. He has to now deal with his little sister who goes crazy in terms of going, brother, give me, Oni-chan, give me cola. Oni-chan, get me Shonen Jump stuff. Oni-chan, give me this and that. Drives up a wall. It's crazy. But that's where kind of part of the humor comes from, is seeing her act so spoiled and childish, and all the video game references, the random stuff that happens, like her meeting various characters, her dealing in like tournaments and video game tournaments and stuff like that. It's a whole series of 12 episodes of just random nonsensical humor that it will really be one of those shows that you will like if you really understand the kind of thing it's aiming at. Like if you love video games, you love anime, you will definitely like this show. Now, there are problems with it, but let's first talk about the good stuff first, because I always like to get that out of the way first. So the good stuff is, animation-wise, this show is very cute. I mean, it's not trying to break the mold or anything. It doesn't look spectacular. It looks very good, and it's a lot of fun and a lot of cutesy stuff here and there. Sound-wise, I love the voice actress. I think she hits the note as this kind of typical little annoying sister type character. Like, she really hits that. And I think she works really good at trying to switch back and forth between the two voices that she has, because as Umaru, she has a normal voice, and then Himouto version of Umaru, she has this like really annoying Oni-chan, 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 like really hyperactive slash buggy voice, which it makes it so wonderful and kind of enjoyable to hear the switch and to understand the pains of Taihei as he has to deal with his brother, or excuse me, as his sister. Now, in terms of the whole show, the plot, and the stuff, I don't really look at that in this type of show. I'm not really focused on that, so I'm not really getting a negative score because of that. I'm only giving a negative score because of a couple of reasons. One, like I said before, it's really aimed at a specific audience. If you aren't into a lot of these video game references or anime references, and I mean, I know you might be watching anime, of course you're watching this thing because this is more, I think, obscure in many ways. But if you aren't like super into a lot of the stuff it's talking about, you might have some issues here and there understanding some of the culture and some of the jokes and stuff like that, because it really does throw a lot of references from other stuff. Like, I mean, it throws Metal Gear references in there. If you've never played a Metal Gear game, you're gonna be like, what the hell's this, you know? But I'm not going to take that off the score per se. I'm going to take a little bit off because I think that it makes it very hard to recommend this to everyone. Go like, oh, just watch it because it's funny. It makes it more funny when you understand the culture behind it. But if you don't, you will find some issues here and there with it. And the episode by episode kind of format is an issue in itself, because I feel like this show could have been a little bit stronger had it been maybe more episodes. I think 12 episodes was a nice episode list for it, but I feel like it would have been great to have like 24. And what I hear though is that season 2 is coming out, so that's why I kind of was also tempted to watch this at the time I did. So I was happy about that, but overall, like, that hurts it a little bit, because I feel like I wanted more out of it. I wanted more episodes that focused on some of the side characters, because they do focus on side characters here and there. They throw out some plots and stuff like that. You learn more about Taihe as the series goes on, like where he came from, why he's a lot like his sister in terms of being smart and stuff like that. But it gets a little old after a while. Is probably also the other weakness of it, that you start seeing these episodes kind of almost blend together at one point, and that is my biggest issue with it. So it's funny for the first several episodes, and then after that you're gonna find humor more so in the, I think, eccentric nature of Umaru and how she has to deal with her brother. But in terms of anything else being funny, that's gonna be up to you in terms of what your lore is into the series that it's mentioning and stuff like that. Overall, I really enjoyed Umaru-chan. Like, I'm saying stuff about it that makes it sound negative, but the thing is, it's just that it's one of those shows that is going to be geared for a specific audience, if that makes sense. And because of that, you might not like the humor that's being thrown at you. And humor is very subjective as it is. So it's definitely one of the shows that you really have to be like, oh, I love this show because of this and that, not because of just the humor it's throwing at, because the humor it has is very specific. Anyways, if I had to review Umaru-chan A through F, I have to give it a solid B+. I think that's a great score for this, because honestly, it was a very fun ride. I enjoyed all the 12 episodes. I wish there was more, and hopefully season 2 comes out, because honestly, that's awesome. I hope the season 2 comes in general, because I've heard about this coming out, and apparently it's slated to be released in 2017, excuse me. So that must mean that some things that come out for it, and hopefully it's just as good as this season. Anyways, guys and girls, I hope you enjoyed this review. As always, if you did, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, share the video, the whole nine. I will talk to you later. Until our paths cross again in the next review, have a good one, everyone. Bye-bye.